Hi everyone, and thank you for joining me. This video is on the new moon in Gemini, which happens on the 13th of June 2018 at 8:43 in the evening, and that's based on British summer time, so that's UK time. Now, a new moon is when the sun and the moon conjunct each other, so they meet. Both of them are 22 degrees, so they're sitting in the same position. And the moon does this every month to get the energy it needs from the sun so it can recharge its batteries so it can fulfill its next cycle. So Gemini energy is being pulled into the chart. Lots and lots of Gemini energy is being pulled into the chart. And Gemini is an air sign. Gemini is about communication. It's about trying different things in life, being adventurous, not being shy, communicating for the sake of having fun with communicating, just having fun talking to people and socializing and being out there and using language as a tool. So Geminis can often be amazing wordsmiths or comics or screenplay writers. It's an understanding of the way people think, of the human condition, and then it's a beautiful ability to actually articulate the things that you've learned, to be eloquent and to write in a way that's really pleasing to other people and that people can engage with. So the energy that's being pulled in is very intelligent, it's very enthusiastic, it's able to embrace uncertainty, and it has the courage to walk through different doorways of opportunity which may seem uncertain, but which really have the potential to pay off later on. So, you know, sometimes in life we have to take a risk to get to the next level, to get to where we want to go. So if we apply this to work, let's say you're in a very secure job and you don't enjoy that job very much and you want to make yourself self-employed. You start doing that by doing your self-employed work on the side, and you start earning some income with that. At some point, you're going to leave the day job behind and devote yourself to your own job. Now, the good thing about being self-employed is that you'll probably make more money because there's no middleman and you're not being doled out a salary. But what you don't have is the certainty and the sense of security that there's a paycheck that's exactly the same coming in every month. So this new moon allows you to embrace that kind of uncertainty and to say it's better to feel uncertain and to try something new rather than have security and certainty and to be stuck and bored. Gemini is interested in new ideas. It's interested in new perspectives, doing things differently. It's fun, it's unpredictable, and it really wants to discover new areas of interest. It's really one of the most curious signs of the zodiac, and it's funny and it's witty, and it often has a great body of knowledge that it's gathered. So Gemini is a clever sign. So we're moving into a period here which is funny, but which is also kind of demanding in terms of communication, because there will be a demand from a lot of people for you to speak and to engage and connect. So if you're someone who's very introverted and shy, this new moon will help you to become more communicative and to not be so self-conscious when you're communicating and to just focus on the words and the language. And again, once you let go of the self-consciousness, this can be really, really fun and enjoyable. Now, what's sitting next to, first of all, both of the sun and the moon are 22 degrees. 22 is the master number of the builder. So that means that you create something that is permanent, that stands the test of time, that is built, and that once it's built, it remains. And Gemini is all about thinking and communicating and being articulate. So a lot of people are going to start writing the book that's going to serve as their legacy long after they've gone. Some people may do their first stand-up gig today. Someone may get out the pen and paper and start the screenplay. Or you may apply for an editing job. It's all about building something on abstract concepts. You really feel empowered in terms of your communicative abilities and your intellect and what you've learned over time, and it becomes apparent to you that you do have skills to offer people and that you have a lot of value to give. And this is the best time of the year to go for job interviews, to present yourself, because you're really going to be able to articulate parts of yourself that maybe at other times you find really difficult to talk about. Not everyone is able to blow their own trumpet and to say, I am, if you hire me, I will become the world's #1 stockbroker. Certain people have that kind of confidence, others do not. On this day, if you're shy, if you're introverted, it's great in all areas. Like I said, doing a job application, going up to someone you're interested in, connecting with friends and socializing and building a stronger relationship and bonding, all of that's possible. Now, Mercury sits 10 degrees away from the sun and the moon, and Mercury is in Cancer, so it still affects them. 10 degrees is the cutoff point. That's the orb cutoff point I use. So Mercury is the communication planet. It rules Gemini. So the fact that Mercury, the communication planet, influences the sun, your identity, and the moon, the way you feel, by being present, giving you a satellite floating around your head almost, because that's what Mercury is. It's really the thing that allows us to communicate and think clearly. That's at 2 degrees. 1 and 2 is a relationship. And in Cancer, it's very interested in wearing its heart on its sleeve, communicating authentically and openly, and taking care of other people, falling in love, seeing the best in people, spending time with children, wanting to take care of others and really being of service to others by giving your positive, loving energy to them. So sitting on top of this new moon in Gemini, your communication is going to contain a lot of emotional stuff. So I already mentioned this in the weekly, but if you have certain skeletons in the closet that you don't want to come out, then really be careful of how you speak, because your guard is going to be down more and you're going to be speaking more about your feelings. You'll be more comfortable with that than you usually are. Also, if you want to take these skeletons that you have in your closet and you actually want to out yourself today, it's a good time to do that, because other people will also be thinking clearly. They'll be interested in new things and they'll be thinking with love. So rather than, hey, mom and dad, I'm trans and I want to transition, and it's like, oh my God, it's more likely that you get a more open-minded response to that. And the energy will also remind your parents that they truly love you. So that's what we're reminded of during this new moon, the ability that we have value and that we can really communicate something that is going to add value to the world, and we are able to express our feelings. We have to express our feelings almost during this new moon. So you'll find out a lot of stuff about people emotionally. So it's a wonderful time to really get to know someone. So if you're in a new relationship, the communication now can really become intense. If you're making new friends, or you can really share things with the other person sitting there. And in my experience, the more you share with people, the closer you become, and you share your lives and you become real friends. Now, the new moon and Mercury is opposed by Saturn in Capricorn, which is at 6 degrees. Saturn is about structure and working towards creating that structure. And Saturn is saying there are a lot of opportunities for you at the moment to really create work success and opportunities in work. So you have a choice during this new moon. You can use the energy to communicate personal information in your personal private life, or you can use the communicative energy to create new opportunities in your working life, to go for job interviews, to build a new business, to film a presentation video. But if you choose to go down that route, then just make sure you keep the emotions in check. They're helpful in the personal bonding side of things, but if it's in the professional sphere, you want to keep your emotions out of that, and you want to remain professional and talk about the content of your company rather than how you feel. So it forms relationships with other things too. It forms a trine with the midheaven in Libra. The midheaven is the angle that has to do with work and career. People who have a Libra midheaven in their birth chart are often very good at careers that have to do with balance and fairness and creativity. So judges and lawyers and diplomats and marriage counselors, and also wedding planners, mediators, that kind of thing. But then also fashion designers, jewelry designers, interior and exterior designers, musicians, writers, painters, artists, sculptors, all of those things. So the sun and the moon in Gemini, communicate, are forming a trine with Libra, the midheaven. So if you are lucky enough to be in a creative line of work, then please don't take this day off, because if you're a graphic artist or a writer or a sculptor, you'll be able to create your masterpiece, the best work that you can create at this point in your life with your current skill set. You're going to be able to create the best thing that you've been able to create up until now. So use that opportunity. There's the potential to create something that's beautiful and magical, and to put that into a tangible format and to present it to the world, which is a big deal. And that's 22 degrees, again, the master number of the builder. It will then stand there for a long time. So if it is a book, not that you can write a book in one day, but you know, this new moon gives you that energy to get motivated, and you can get started with the book. And then when you publish it, also you'll get positive feedback from it. And it's something that's readable and beautiful. So imagine you're starting something new. Then this chart that I've got, that you can see here, is basically the natal chart of whatever you start on this day. So if you start a new book or a new painting, then it's got this chart as its birthday. So being communicative and making things beautiful, and being able to listen to your feelings, and being lucky because of that, all of that is going to be inherent to that work, and it's going to stick with that work as long as it's in progress and long after you finished it. So give this birthday to something that you can actually create and that you have power over. There's a sextile between Mercury and Uranus in Taurus. So Mercury is about communication on an emotional level. Uranus in Taurus is unexpected events or chaos in your physical circumstantial life. So if you allow your feelings, so let's say you are a writer or an artist or someone creative. If you allow your feelings to inform what you're writing, if you allow them in, if you open yourself up to the universe and what the universe wants to provide for you, you may find that you're writing something or drawing something which you'd never really planned, but which just kind of sneezed its way into your head and just appeared. And it's something totally unexpected, and it's something beautiful that you create that just seems to come out of the blue, but instead it comes from the universe, and it's a gift that's provided to you on this day. Another reason why you should communicate today and really open your mouth or get your pen out or your paintbrush and express yourself. there's a square between Mercury and Chiron in Aries. So the desire to, or the tendency to speak so emotionally at the moment, the reason for that is that you want to heal certain pains that you incurred in the past. Emotional pain. Emotional pain is something that's very real, and that can often be just as painful, if not more painful, than physical pain. Emotional pain you can't see. It really feels... If you've ever been heartbroken, you know what emotional pain is. But if you're depressed, or if you hate yourself, or if there's really something wrong in the way you perceive yourself, and there's negative energy pointed at you from your mind, then it can create real low self-esteem. It can create thoughts like, I'm not lovable, or I'm not good enough, And the Mercury in Cancer placement is about nurturing and taking care of and healing. So remember that charity begins at home, and don't just communicate with everyone else and write and be outspoken. Also nurture yourself and take care of yourself, and ask yourself, what is the emotional baggage I'm still carrying around? How can I transform that? And is this something that I can include in the work, and it's a catharsis, and I can let it go by communicating about it and really put it into the work, and then it's no longer in my real life. You know, I found that with writing, that if you write it down a certain experience, it creates space between you and that experience, because now it's been captured on black and white, and you know it's always going to be there. It's not up to you to remember it anymore. So this is quite a complicated new moon that will really inspire you. We've got a sesqui square, which is 135 degrees, and that connects Mars in Aquarius at 8 degrees with this new moon. Mars is the male principle of desire, 8 in numerology is power, and Aquarius is the sign of the humanitarian and the sign of the teacher, the person who wants to teach groups of people to make life easier for them and to make life better. So that, again, Mars now in the mix makes the desire to express yourself even stronger. So remember, if you've got skeleton secrets, to really be aware that you don't slip up and express them. On the other side of things, like I said before, it's a wonderful opportunity to let people in on the skeletons you have in your closet, so that you can become closer to them. Because people feel a wall, whether they're psychic or not. If there's a wall between you and them, they will feel it. There is a quincunx between the new moon and black moon Lilith at 24 degrees in Capricorn. And that says that there are lots of opportunities for you work-wise today. Okay? So stop looking at all these emotional things and being creative and delving deeply into your emotional skill set to create wonderful characters in a masterpiece story, for instance. Black Moon Lilith, which represents the ego, says, take care of your bills and your taxes and do all the admin today. Water and air beats earth during this new moon. It's a new moon at 22 degrees. The energy of this day is air. It's about thinking, it's about communication, it's about taking a risk and doing something new. It is not about sorting out your credit card transfer and seeing if the delivery was arrived and if it was signed for and blah, blah, blah. You've got a lot of days to do that kind of practical work, but the ego is sitting there because it always tries to sabotage you, and the way it tries to sabotage you today is by forcing you to do admin work, whereas what you're really supposed to do is communicative work that really takes what you've got in here and puts it out into the real world. There is a semi-square, 45 degrees, with the new moon and the north node in Leo. So the communication is ultimately going to lead to you being in the spotlight and creating something that's fun and enthusiastic and that is powerful and that makes an impact on people. Also, do you know, if you choose to have this as the birthday of your new book, of your new painting, because it's such a positive chart, the book in itself is going to be really positive and funny because it has all of these qualities in its birthday. So it may be a murder mystery, but it'll be hilarious with hilarious characters. Those are the funniest kind of things anyway. Or it'll be your sort of humor, and it'll come together and it'll be something that's uplifting and upbeat because the energy of this day is upbeat. You know, if you're not a writer or if you're not particularly bothered about paying the bills and you're just really everything's okay in your life, this new moon is about you being inspired and being able to express something that you want. That's what the universe is giving you. It's giving you a chance to just be free and to just really add something meaningful that's going to help other people and that you can be proud of. Any other connections? It makes a connection with a lot of things. The new moon also opposes the rising sign in Sagittarius. So Sagittarius is about exploring and adventuring either higher realms of knowledge, so philosophy and economics and theology, or it's about travel and exploring and meeting different cultures. The opposition between the new moon is in Gemini, and that's saying, I want to do this on an intellectual level rather than a physical level. So I don't want to travel around a lot. I really want to draw on my inner resources. And I also don't want to be teachable. I don't want to hear what you've got to say. I want to express what I have to say. So I'm the one who's expressive today. So you may find that if you're working with others today, that it's kind of difficult to get a word in because everyone's going to be super inspired and will want to help and will want to communicate. And that's why it's ideal if you're someone who's self-employed or who does their own thing. If you're retired and you've still yet to write the masterpiece or the masterpiece painting, then try again today. Because if you're in a position where you have no one else to distract you, that's a blessing. And you can really then express yourself without having to overcome those challenges and fighting for your right to have peace and quiet. Yeah, so that's it. So that's what the new moon and Mercury form relationships with. So that's what this new moon is going to be all about. We've got Saturn and Pluto in Capricorn. So we're also in a time where people are being urged to change the way they work and to make it more of an expression of who they are, something that's more authentic. That's been a drive that we've seen over the last couple of months and years, really, that the universe wants people to work at something that makes them happy. Jupiter is in Scorpio at 14 degrees, so the good luck planet is in the emotional sign of Scorpio. So there can also be real freedom here in terms of your emotional life because you have an outlet. You're able to let it go. You're able to express it. Neptune is at 16 degrees in Pisces. Neptune is the water planet of imagination, spirituality, and intuition. At 16 degrees, it becomes 7, which is mind and creativity in numerology. And Pisces is a water sign. Neptune rules Pisces, so it's very happy. It sits there and it allows you to have an imagination that is limitless. So you're utterly inspired. You may find yourself writing things that you never even thought you could write because the universe comes in and takes over and really allows you to express yourself or to go on an adventure or to find the thing that you've been looking for and to get started with it and to use it as a platform, as a foundation to build something solid on top of. And that particularly applies to expressive, creative work and romantic relationships. Meeting the new person, connecting with that new person, using that foundation, we met on the 13th of June and building a relationship out of it. So this highlights you and blesses you, this new moon, in terms of your creativity and your love life. And remember to take care of yourself as well amidst the whole process. So that's the new moon in Gemini on the 13th. I hope it gives you an idea of what you'll be working with. It's a wonderful kick in the rear end to really do something that's meaningful to you. So I'm also going to be doing something on the 13th. I'm going to be thinking, what is it that I want to express? What's really important to me? So watch this space. If you'd like a private reading with me, please visit the website. It's gregoryscott.com. Click on the readings tab to order your reading or the book your reading button, which is on the front page. I use astrology, tarot, and numerology in all my private readings. And it gives you, by combining them, it gives me a really nice overview of you as a soul. So the astrology chart is like a blueprint of your soul. I draw that up by using your place of birth, date of birth, and time of birth. If you don't have the time of birth, I can rectify your chart by getting 10 life events or 10 plus. And that way I can work out the time of birth. If you're interested in that, get in touch with me via the email. It's readings@gregoryscott.co.uk. readings@gregoryscott.co.uk, as they say here in the UK. They say co.uk instead of co.uk. Once I have your chart drawn up, it really shows me where you've been in past lifetimes, what your life purpose is in this lifetime, what you're talented at when it comes to work, what's destined for you in love and spirituality and health and money and relationships, and also what's coming up in future in those areas of your life. If you have specific questions like, is this person suitable for me? Or when are finances going to look up? Or do I need to change my job? Or would I be better off living somewhere else? I can answer those questions for you. So if you're interested, please do order a reading. Please remember to subscribe to this YouTube channel. I'd be ever so grateful and it would be super helpful to me. Thank you for watching and I'll speak to you next week.